I'm here to talk about today is sharing a couple of tips that you can use, whether it's in your home or in your office, about bringing sustainable practices and sustainability into your everyday life. So we want to make this easy, we want to make this fun. One of the best ways is to make sure we're framing it in a positive way. So the opposite of positive, parking enforcement, right? Here in LA, you see signs everywhere, and it tends to be a very negative message. So never, ever, ever, never, ever park here. This one is one of my favorites. Do not park here. The wrath of the ancients will fall upon your head. Your shoelaces will not stay tied. Rabid squirrels will invade your home. Food in your refrigerator will mysteriously spoil, and your vehicle will start making that expensive knocking sound again, and no one will talk to you at parties. We don't want that to happen, clearly. And this one, the last car that parked here, is still missing. So I really want to motivate you today to make some changes, and I definitely wanted to share with you a book that was introduced to me a couple of weeks ago. I was at a program at Harvard, and Nudge is a really great book that was released by some Harvard professors about how you can change the framing of the message so that your behaviors just change a little bit to get to the desired result. So, for instance, this was a sign actually a block away from Harvard. A professor's garage said you would do well to not park on the sidewalk. So just a positive framing of the message. And that's what we wanted to talk to you about today, and to give you 10 easy steps in 10 short minutes. This little image says, get cape, wear cape, and fly. I swear it's going to be that easy. So for those of you who are new to the environmental, looking at what your footprint looks like, I just wanted to give you a snapshot of energy usage in the office. So here's a pie chart which gives you an overview of where you spend the most amount of energy. So lighting, as you'll see, is 29%, heating and cooling, 25%. So a lot of what we are going to focus on will be energy, whether it's in your home or in your office. So this is a thermostat that some of you may have in your offices or in your home. It's definitely what I would say more the old school model, but it still works. And one of the things that you can do is just make a conscious effort to either engage your family members or your office coworkers to set your cooling point at 76 degrees and your heating point at 68 degrees. Now, the new school models are much fancier. You can actually set your heating and cooling points for when you're in your office, when you're out of your office, weekends, slow periods, and that will shave off money and energy usage. My second tip is to get smart, and that's with energy. So has anyone seen these smart strips, or anyone from a couple of people? We use these at every computer in our office, and basically what it does is you plug in your most important items that need to be on all the time. So that could be your computer and your backup disk. And that goes into the top there, and that stays on. It's an always-on outlet. All of the other outlets are your speakers, your cell phone chargers, anything else that you don't need on 24 hours a day all the time. So when you walk out of your office or out of your home, you simply click that button, and we can mount it right there next to your light switch. So when you walk out, you hit your light switch, you hit that button, and all of those other outlets go off. Again, this saves money, especially if you have an office with a lot of workstations, and in your home as well. So up to 73% power savings, and they only cost around $25, $30 at Amazon. Now this little guy, again, we want to pull at the heartstrings a little bit, has to do with plastic and plastic bottles. So one of the things that was great about plastics is that they were made to last forever, but they were designed to throw away. So part of the challenge is before plastic, we used glass, which was heavy, but it was durable, and we could continue to use it again and again. Plastics, a lot of times we use plastics, whether it's to take our lunch to work or to drink plastic water bottles, and because they're made to last forever, they also stay in our ecosystem and damage our wildlife and our oceans. So a lot of people say to me, but we can recycle the plastic bottles. The truth is that even though the amount being recycled has begun to rise every year since 1990, the recycling rate is still steady around 27%. So that means that a big chunk of those plastic bottles are still getting thrown into the landfill, which then gets pushed out into the sea. So the fourth item there, drive a cleaner ride. We recently developed this online calculator, and it works on iPhones, iPads, Androids, Blackberries, your laptop, and it's called cleancarchoices.org. And what this calculator does is it allows you to select some of the clean vehicle models today. You can select one where you click that compare button, and then you can select another one, and then you will see your savings, your dollar savings and your environmental savings as they would be compared to an average gasoline-powered vehicle. So this calculator is very helpful. Cleanairchoices.org is the program, but cleancarchoices.org is the calculator. And once you run those comparisons, you can actually click to go to a dealer to test drive, and you can also click on the incentives and rebates button there, and it'll click all of the tax credits and incentives, and you'll be able to go and test drive a vehicle in Southern California. Okay, number 5, zero VOC paint. VOCs are volatile organic compounds. That's when you walk into a room that was freshly painted with the traditional paint and you smell it. That's off-gassing toxic chemicals. So the other option, which this is a can that we recently bought at Home Depot. They stock them everywhere, Home Depot, Lowe's, and this is zero VOC, low odor paint. So we just moved into a new office space in Santa Monica, painted our whole offices just in time to get audited by the California Environmental Protection Agency because we were selected as a small business of the year. So it was fantastic that we didn't mind that the auditors came the week after we painted because no odor. So the auditors were there walking around, and they asked what paint do we use. We showed them the can, and they were very impressed that not only did it not smell, and they didn't have to make this face, but we were walking the talk, which they appreciated. Okay, number 6, buy local produce. So not only are we very fortunate here in California that we have a lot of produce grown year-round, but we have farmers markets sprouting up everywhere. So in Santa Monica and Hollywood on the east side, you're able to go and support those local farmers, which are usually much smaller than the massive farming operations. You're also having fresh food that has traveled a shorter distance to get to your table. So instead of flying food in from South America or even from farther places, you're able to eat food that's fresh and local, and you're supporting local business as well. Number 7, pump it up. So this is an image here of a tire, and one of the main things that a lot of people don't realize is just keeping your tires inflated to the proper amount will save you money. So here the statistic is if you drive around 12,000 miles a year and you make sure that you keep your tires inflated on your vehicle, you could save $300 to $500 a year, just as simple as keeping your tires inflated. Okay, number 8, whether you're at home or whether in your office, engaging your team, whether it's your family members or your coworkers, is really important because one person can make an effort, but getting a team motivated and getting them involved in the effort really helps you reduce your environmental footprint and save on your bottom line. So this is an image of Quebec. We were recently in Montreal, and just wanted to use this as an example because we were working with the chef there on the menus for the conference and talking to him about sourcing sustainable food items and sourcing locally. And the chef said in April it's going to be impossible to source locally because there might still be frost on the ground, and we just don't think our farmers will have any produce for us. So we tried to figure out how can we meet our environmental objectives and get the chef to create a menu that helps us reduce our food miles traveled and feature local produce. And as soon as I started changing the conversation, so again in the messaging, to supporting Quebec and the Quebecois culture and the local maple syrups and the wines and the cheeses, the chef lit up and his face was smiling, and he said, "That's not a problem. We can have a whole menu featuring Quebecois cuisine." So again, engaging your stakeholders with messages and language, speaking their language in a way can help engage them in the effort. I wanted to bring up an example from Brazil, and this is one of the most popular advertising agencies in Brazil launched this campaign. It's a little odd, but they said they encourage Brazilians to urinate in the shower. And they said that they could save more than 1,000 gallons a year by going #1 straight into the drain. So we have a little video clip from our Brazilians.
Xixi no banho, queremos que todos façam. Homens, mulheres, crianças, brasileiros ou não, nobres, plebeus, músicos, desportistas, pessoas que são metade homem e metade monstro, coisas do além, lendas brasileiras, lendas gregas, pessoas boas, pessoas não tão boas, gênios da arte, gênios da ciência, peixes, versões de outros planetas, fenômenos do cinema. Enfim, se você faz xixi, tá convidado. Faça xixi no banho. Ajude a Mata Atlântica.
A fun way, again, to engage the audience on that one. And so our last and final tip here is to keep it fun. So again, we don't want the negative messaging at the beginning. We want to keep it fun, and when you want to get people involved in the effort, part of what we do when we're working on environmental conferences and trade shows is try to work some of the fun of the sustainable messaging into the event itself. So here's an image of an event in Portland where we had a bicycle powering the coffee maker during the coffee breaks. And so different people could take turns on the bicycle, and it was completely powered off-grid. And then those are signs there of that, a little display that was above our compost bin, just showing people that these are the types of compostable items that would go in the compost bin, not in the waste bin. And on the Keep It Fun topic, wanted to share with you another video about the fun theory. I'm not sure if anyone's seen this yet, but again, it's just another way of thinking out of the box. How can we make people do the same things that they would do every day, but a little bit differently? And making it fun sometimes is all the difference. All right, and that's it. I just wanted to share a couple of tips with you, and thank you very much.